One of the ways to program a robot for the first tech challenge is with a program called Android Studio. It takes a little bit to set up, so here's how to install it on macOS. To get started, we're going to head to the Android Studio website, and you can find the link to this website down in the description below. We'll choose to download Android Studio and accept the terms. It's a pretty large download, and the installation takes some time as well, so just be prepared for that. As we're working our way through the installation, we can omit some features of Android Studio because we're not really making and testing full Android apps. Instead, we're writing some code inside of an existing app and installing it to our robot controller device. To do this, we need the Android platform, but we don't need any virtual devices. Once Android Studio is installed, in order to start writing code for the first tech challenge, we need to download the FTC Robot Controller app from a code-sharing site called GitHub. I recommend doing this by navigating to the releases page of the repository. You can find the link down in the description, and downloading the zip file for the latest version of the app. Over time, you will probably have multiple versions of this app that you're working with, so I recommend downloading it in this way so that you have the version number in the name of the folder that gets downloaded. This way, as you're working with multiple versions and copying over your code, it's easy to tell which one you're working with. Now that we've downloaded the code, let's go ahead and extract it. Now that we have the FTC Robot Controller code on our local computer, we can open it up as a project in Android Studio. And we're opening it as an existing project because although it is new to us, we're working inside of an existing app. Once you open the project, Android Studio is going to install even more software necessary for working with this app. This is a process that can take a long time, and the application may freeze several times along the way. At some point, Android Studio is going to ask you if you want to upgrade the Gradle plugin, and this is not something we want to do right now. Assuming everything installed correctly, it's a great time to do an initial build of the project to make sure everything works correctly. Assuming that goes well, you may want to go ahead and plug in your Rev Control Hub. You should see it appear in the drop-down list of devices at the top of Android Studio. Now that it's plugged in, we have the option to install this app on the device. If you've previously installed the Robot Controller app using the Rev hardware client, you may be prompted by Android Studio to overwrite what is there. Assuming you have a backup of any programs that were stored on the app using onBotJava or the blocks programming method, this is okay to do. Once Android Studio says that the launch is complete, you are done. You're now ready to start writing code for the first tech challenge using Android Studio. If you want to see more content about programming for the first tech challenge, please subscribe, and I'll see you at the field.